Good day students. In this video lecture we are going to see the FP growth algorithm, which is an alternative algorithm that takes a radically different approach to discovering frequent item sets. So we will be also be seeing the FP tree representation as well as its construction in this video lecture. How to generate the frequent item sets using this algorithm we will be seeing in the next video lecture. As far as this lecture is concerned, we will concentrate on the FP tree representation as well as the construction. FP means frequent pattern tree. So this algorithm does not subscribe to the generate and test paradigm of a priori algorithm. In a priori algorithm, our focus was you generate the frequent item set and check whether it satisfies certain threshold or criteria. Based on that you keep it or remove it. That strategy, generate and test strategy or paradigm we were following, but FP growth algorithm does not subscribe to that strategy. Instead what it will do means it will encode the data set or transaction set using a compact data structure called an FP tree or frequent pattern tree. How we are having the binary tree, AVL tree, which the data structures which you have studied, in the same way we are going to have a data structure called frequent pattern tree, and to this frequent pattern tree the transaction set or the given data set will be encoded, and from that we will extract the frequent item sets directly. So that way we are going to extract the frequent item sets. So let us see how the tree representation is being done. Now FP tree is a compressed representation of the input data. It is constructed by reading the data set one transaction at a time and mapping each transaction onto a path in FP tree. So if I am going to have a 5 transactions or say 10 transactions, I will read each transaction one by one and map it to the one of the path in the FP tree. This will be clear when we do the FP tree construction. As different transactions can have several items in common, their paths may overlap. Suppose if I have the transaction, first transaction as ABC and second transaction as ACD. In both the transaction A and C are common, ABC, ACD. So this may happen at that time. It may the nodes will overlap and the count will be incremented. We will see that the more the paths overlap with one another, more compression we are going to achieve. And if the size of the FP tree is small enough to fit into main memory, this will allow us to extract the frequent item sets directly from the structure in the memory instead of making repeated passes over the data stored on disk. All of you know this. If a particular block is not fitting into a physical memory, then you have to break it into different parts or modules, and one by one you have to read from the secondary memory. It is difficult. Suppose if your size of the FP tree is small enough to fit in, then it is easy for you to extract the frequent item sets. So let us see with an example how it is being constructed over here. So each node in the tree contains the label of the item along with the counter that shows the number of transactions mapped to the given path. So let us see, here they have given the 10 transactions, and here 3 snapshots are given after reading first, second and the third transaction. What will be the structure of the FP tree. So let us go one by one. Initially the FP tree will contain only the root node represented by the null symbol. Actually initially before reading any transaction from the data set, it will contain only the one node which represents the null. Once you take the first transaction, or before going to the first transaction, we have to do this. That is, the entire data set is scanned once to determine the support count of each item infrequent items are discarded over here only, while the frequent items are sorted in the decreasing support counts, and accordingly we will map it. So let us begin with the first transaction. You take the first transaction a comma b, it will be mapped from the root node which is null a b. Why we are having 1 and 1 over here? It is the counter which indicates how many transactions are having the same item, whether it is mapping to the same path. We will understand in the next transactions. So let us consider the second transaction. So it is BCD. BCD can't start from here because the transaction itself is beginning with the BCD. So a separate path has to be kept for that or constructed for that. B, C, D, B1, C1, D1. Why we are going to give the pointer reference from one B to another B? It is just to say that in this transaction also we are having B, and in the second transaction also we are having B. So we are providing the cross reference over here with the help of the pointer. Let us take the third transaction, ACDE. See, here you can see it begins with A. So with the first A it is going to overlap. So we are going to increment the A count to the 2. Next it will take the divergence from this part. The reason is C is different from B. So C, D, E is being separate nodes are being constructed over here, and as I told earlier, the cross pointers are given. If you take the fourth transaction ADE, where it will be going ADE will be going here, that is the A, and separate path for D will be there, D, and E will be constructed over here. At that time A will be 3, D will be 1, and E will be 1. I think that is being depicted over here in the final tree. So you can go like that with the further transactions. Once you complete all the 10 transactions, you will get the final tree like this. So here the descriptions are given. This description is already explained by me, so you need not worry about that. So this process continues until every transaction has been mapped to one of the paths given in the FP tree. So resulting tree will be got like this. So this is regarding the construction of an FP tree. So even in the exam, if they ask certain questions giving certain number of transactions to construct the FP tree, you should be in a position to do that. This particular procedure of constructing the FP tree is very, very important, and it is very simple also, which you can understand. So let us see in the best case scenario what might happen. So where all the transactions are having the same set of items, then you will get only the single branch of the nodes. What do you mean by that? Suppose if you are having all the transactions having the same set of item, then you will be having only one branch. There will be no other branches. Since you are having the different items in different transactions, you are going to get the different branches over here. So the best case scenario will be having the single branch of nodes. Worst case scenario is every transaction is unique and you are having the transaction number of branches in the FP tree. Suppose if you take that all the 10 transactions are unique, then definitely you will be having the 10 branches. And physical storage requirement for the FP tree is higher because it requires the additional space to store the pointers between the nodes for the cross reference and the counters for each item. What do you mean by that? I am talking about this one. These pointers as well as counters at each node and pointers. So additional space is required for that. The size of an FP tree also depends upon how the items are ordered. Suppose if you change the ordering scheme, which you have seen in the earlier example, if it is reversed from lowest to highest, then you will get something like that, something like this, where we have reversed the entire order. So instead of starting from A B C D, it is now having from E D C B A, like the in that order it will move on. So here you can observe that compared to the earlier tree, there are some changes. What are those changes? Changes have happened in terms of the branching factor. Earlier, if you consider the final tree, you had the branching factor of 2. You can see 1, 2 branching factor, but when you have reversed that, the branching factor has grown to 5. So that is the one change you can observe. And the number of nodes containing the high support items such as A and B has increased from 3 to 12. Why that has happened? Because you have reversed that. So this is regarding the FP tree representation and FP tree construction. So we will end this lecture here, and regarding the frequent item set generation, we will see in the next lecture. Thank you.